Hello friends, welcome to Meg Vidya. Today we will discuss a very interesting and sophisticated non-traditional welding technique known as the friction stir welding. We know that whenever we rub two things intensely, a lot of heat gets generated due to the friction produced due to the rubbing action. Now in friction stir welding, we will use this heat to do the welding. Basically, we do not melt the fanged edges, rather, a plastic state is reached and the material gets soft. So, the friction stir welding is basically a solid state joining process. Here, we use a specialized tool which should be able to resist the high temperature produced due to the friction. So, highly conductive tools are generally avoided. Developed in the year 1991 at the Welding Institute in Cambridge University, the friction stir welding employs a specialized tool as seen in the screen. The tool basically has three important parts. The pin first penetrates the workpiece, followed by the shoulder, which further helps in generating the heat, and finally we have the body. Now, the body of the tool is used only to hold the tool. Let us now see with a simple animation how the operation actually takes place. First, the workpiece is clamped tightly and the tool is rotated at a very high speed and made to travel throughout the entire length of the faying edges. As a result of this movement, intense heat is produced and the material becomes soft. Now the shoulder of the tool then stirs the soft metal and thus a solid state welding is done. So friction along with the stirring action produces the weld. This is the sequence of operation that we carry out. Now friction stir welding is mainly used to weld butt joints. Here since we are not melting the edges, so no filler metal or shielding gas is required. Now in the recent years, a few hybrid friction stir welding methods have been introduced. One such technique is the laser assisted friction stir welding. Here, a laser beam is used to preheat the faying edges locally ahead of the actual process. Then in the second case, an electrically assisted friction stir welding technique is also used, where the electrically conductive workpieces are locally heated just before the friction induced heating starts. Generally, materials such as aluminum, magnesium and copper alloys are welded using the friction stir welding. The problem with aluminum during gas and arc welding is that the volume changes associated with aluminum metal is quite large or prominent. Since in friction stir welding we are not melting anything, so this problem is reduced. Also the chances of oxidation are nullified by using the friction stir welding. Now, while welding copper, which is a very highly conductive metal, it poses a difficulty to weld it using the traditional techniques. But in friction stir welding, since we heat locally, so copper metals can also be welded very easily. Let us now discuss some of the advantages and disadvantages of the friction stir welding. The first one, since we are not melting the edges and since it is a solid state welding, so the entire process is a green process. No fumes or toxic gases are released. Also, the recrystallized grains are equiaxial. The joints are free from any kind of solidification, cracking, residual stresses and porosity. However, this technique is not a very fast process and it is not suitable for bulk production. So this was all about the friction stir welding. For more such informative videos, please subscribe Meg Vidya. Thank you.